Audio test. Audio test. Okay, audio seems good. Gonna go grab the hangar pets for this ship. The Fleet Elite version, that is. And today's stream, I guess, to put it correctly, is brought to us all by Bridger, who has very generously donated this Miracle Worker flight deck cruiser to me to mess around with and to show you all just how good and bad the ship is at different things. I haven't actually flown it anywhere yet, but just based on the stats, we know it's a tank ship. It is not a DPS ship. So just keep that in mind. Okay, I'm gonna go back out to space here. And I'm going to go through and upgrade the rest of these beam arrays because these are now the best beam arrays in the game. And the reason for that is for every one that you have slotted, you get a proc that has a larger damage buff the more of these beams you have on. It gets quite stupid. As I continue to get screwed over trying to upgrade all these beams because, you know, $300 ship. We gotta, you know, make sure we get all the money out of you by making you upgrade all these beams and all that. And if this goes crit D damage anytime, that'd be great. There we go. So right now, you see this proc on him says plus 20% bonus damage. It's 10% per beam that is slotted. So when I slot this third one, 30%. Yeah. I still think the entire ship should be account-wide, but I've went over that so much in the past that I don't think I need to go over that again. I'm going to run out of... I didn't mean to do research, I meant to do tech there. I'm gonna have to get more Phoenix upgrades. These beams are eating through the Phoenix upgrades I had. The ship comes with 6 of them. You'll have to buy the 7th from the Dill store, but it's about the same cost as the other weapons you'd buy in the Dill Reclaim store. There's only a beam array. There's no dual beam banks, no cannons, just the beam array. And it comes with damage times 3 off the bat, which I would say is a good thing given the proc. So I'm gonna just keep him damage 3, crit X, crit D damage. It did also come with 2 torpedoes, but these are not upgradable at the moment, but they were talking about how they might make these upgradable later on. So I'm just gonna keep those in my inventory for now. I'm gonna open these R&D packs though, because I need more boosters. I wish these weekend bonus things stacked. They just spam your inventory. And I'm gonna have to get more Phoenix upgrades. Oh boy, that's a mess. If I get the boosters all over here, okay, they won't be as much of a mess. No, this ship was donated to me from Bridger. He's a very nice person and wanted to see what I would do with it. Well, I'm gonna see what this phone call is while I continue hitting the upgrade button. And it's nothing important. Okay. I just realized those were research ones. Oops. Thought I hit the tech ones. All in all, I'm guessing just to upgrade the 7 beams, I'll have used around probably about 300 Phoenix upgrades. Quite an insane amount. Okay, that one went really early. Let's see how long this one takes. This is the last one. And also, these beams are currently broken under fire at wheel 3. They work fine under fire at wheel 1 and 2, but I guess their QA didn't test these with Fall 3, which honestly isn't surprising because I still believe that when it comes to new ship releases, their QA doesn't do a thing with the ships. I think they largely leave that up to players to find the bugs. Plan on testing the KDF trait. Yeah, I might look at it later on. I've got it on SOB already, but I haven't actually done anything with it yet. I just unlocked it and swapped over to this character, basically. Hello, Bridger. And once again, thank you, Bridger, for providing me with this ship. Gonna be doing some fun things with it after I click through this lovely gambling system to gamble away all my lithium and salvage to get the beam to go to the correct modifier. Hello, Speckled. So, once again, I realized I said this at the beginning of the stream, but there was nobody in here when I said that actually. The reason these beam arrays are so good is because of this proc they have on them. This, you see the 5% chance plus 60% bonus damage? For each of these advanced phaser beams you have slotted on your build, it's plus 10% damage that you get with that proc. So if I take one of these off, you see that 60 goes down to 50. And, you know, if you have 7 of them slotted, that's a 6... Well, that's not right. Does it cap at 60%? So it goes up all the way up to 60. Okay. I see what they've done there. They're trying to force you to use a torpedo or something. But still, 60% Cat 2 damage is insane. Greetings. Yeah, these beams are really powerful, and with that being a 5% proc chance, these beams are very much going to be far ahead of any other beam array out there. I need to figure out what exactly I'm going to do here. This is a tank, so I guess I'll just do colony tac consoles. I should have room to actually just have a fire at will slotted on the build. Thank you for the follow, Speckled. Yeah, it's actually giving Fire at Will 1 instead of Fire at Will 3. I'll link a thread here. Florian was talking to me about it before, and he ended up going and making a thread about it. Though it appears Reddit's broken right now because the page just isn't loading. And there's already a QA person looking at it, so hopefully they can get that resolved fast. Hello, Ranger. Okay, so I'm not sure these fighters are going to be worth keeping on. Well, we'll see. Or the console, I mean. Let's see, for other consoles, this is a tank platform, so this is going to be very over-tanked for most of the content that I'm going to be doing today. Let's see, where's DPRM here? Basically slotting every clicky heal console there is, because that's generally what tanks are nowadays. Let's see, what else am I missing? Got that on. Guess I can slot something for a little bit of damage. Domino, where's that at? And for the last console, I guess for right now I'll just do that. Yeah, probably Ranger, but on this character, my disco rep is at 0 because I'm not doing it until I have sponsorship. And that is a bit overkill. You are correct. I guess Boner or something will work for now. Trait-wise, redirecting arrays is good. I need to slot SAD. Superior area denial. That's a must on this ship, I feel. And scramble fighters would be a solid choice also. I have that on this character. I do not. I think I have one in my account bank though. Yeah, Ranger. When I eventually get Disco T5 on this character, I'll put the engine and shield on, most likely for the 2-piece, but for right now, I'm just going to leave the assimilated 2-piece on. I'm going to go see if I have a Scramble Fighters in the bank. Pretty sure I do. Yep. Oh, for sure, Unix. Beams are honestly like I would say beams are even behind like for sure torpedo mine builds. They're behind exotic builds. They're behind cannon builds, obviously. And yeah, beams are just not a good weapon type anymore. It's just as simple as that. I don't have any of this tray or bridge officer ability set up so far, so ignore what's currently slotted. Yeah, Leopold, I got it already. Yeah, you could do full turret just to mess around, but that's generally not too effective. Yeah. It's a really good looking ship. Cannons are crazy good right now, and even turret mines. Like the turret mine build I've been running, it's crazy how far turret or torps and mines have come in the last year or two. And yeah, with only turrets, I don't doubt it. Okay, let's this buff layout's a complete disaster. Um do I have what I need on this one? No. I'm gonna have to train up a bridge officer here with a bunch of new abilities. This only needs hazard emitters. This can be an engineer. Make that. Swap these two around. I guess I should actually have rally point marker there. So currently, as I said, Fire at Will 3 is bugged with them, so I'm just going to swap around my beta and Fire at Will for now. Hopefully they can get that issue resolved soon, but we'll see. What else? guess I could for now, actually. If I slot a torpedo, yeah, I could just do that. I'll keep the scatter volley on to help proc the colony attack consoles. Now this is actually going to be tricky with the miracle worker. And so I don't forget that later. Gonna have to swap characters, grab some EC to train up that bridge officer. My FedROM does not have the Disco Connie, and I don't plan on putting one on there. I don't see any need. It's a tanking ship, and I don't run beams on this character. So, this Disco Connie is purely a tanking ship, and I know that it has really high performing beams on it, but they're beams. They're not competitive against any other weapon type in the game. So, even with a buff like this, they're still left in the dirt. What's wrong, Ranger? Yeah, these ships should be account wide, but we all know how Cryptic feels about that. I actually need to grab the... Okay, so Miracle Worker. There's no specialization qualifications up there for Miracle Worker right now. And crafting them is quite fun. Let's see, what do I have to get for... There's no Miracle Worker specialization qualification things on the exchange, so I'm just gonna have to go craft one quick, but they're not too difficult to craft. What's that? Power cells, and what's this last one? I would have thought that they were crazy and perhaps that they were a bit stupid, but here we are. Beams or mines are beating, like mines beating beams is just, it's crazy. It's crazy to even think. It's crazy to be saying, but it's what we're seeing, and it's just absurd. Okay. So that's crafted. Now I go to this bridge officer. Make sure it's the right one so I don't have to click all that stuff again. Let's see here. Actually, let's see. I might swap this around. Do the Eng here and then the tack here. So that's Vanguard Engineer 1. Okay. I could do a Flawless Fire at Will setup. Will the Flawless Fire at Will, like if you're doing ETM with redirecting arrays, will that still trigger SAD? Has anyone messed with that interaction? Ranger, Bridger, do either of you know? Oh, only with the dummy scatter volley? Okay. So I have to have a fire at will on the build. That's unfortunate. Let's see. You gotta have SAD on this, but I also want to get scramble fighters on. My best options to drop history will remember. I don't have room for ETM though. That's the other issue. Unless I'm dropping redirecting arrays. But I hate the micromanagement you need to do with ETM to get the higher fire at will uptime. I'll give it a go. I'll have to slot a torpedo now though. So let's do... I'm gonna have to run a fall one. Just deal with it, because I need to get rally point marker on this. This is a weird setup, but it's gonna have to work. It's not a damage build anyways, it's not going for any min-max numbers. And then... I can either have Eng Team or I can stack another Merrick Worker ability, but I gotta have RSP3 on. Let's see. So that would leave me like Mixed Armament Synergy. That'd probably be the better choice. Narrow sensor bands would be nice also, but I just don't have room for it. I'd have to do narrow sensor bands 1, and the accuracy buff doesn't really matter for beams because they don't actually take advantage of it. Against secondary targets, only the primary. There we go. Highly overtank setup, and the fall 3 doesn't even matter right now, Ranger. Because these new beam rays just straight up don't work with fire at will 3. I'll link the thread again, but they are broken right now. If you hit fire at will 3, they just go right to fire at will 1. It's quite lovely. And actually, yeah, that's right, I don't even have a beta on this. Let's see. I guess drop the scatter volley. It's gonna be a bit rough with timing. Yeah, Unix, I'm well aware of that. I've been tanking for a while, it's just this ship. It's a bit different. No tack team on this either, and it's gonna be a bit rough. Yeah, I wish this new D7 could use dual cannons like the old one could. It'd help it quite a bit. And I still have to find a torpedo to slot on this. I don't know which one I'm going to slot quite yet. Deep GRM's on. Oh, that was already slotted. I guess I'll just keep that slotted instead of... I don't need the sensor platform. Force challenge. I rarely use that. Don't really need this on the tray, but I'll just keep it on. Tray is a bit of a mess, but it is what it is. Specializations are correct. I need to put my taunt on here. And I'm guessing the battery unslotted again. Okay, torpedo. Let's see. I'd like to have a 180 degree on, but the only good option I have is the wide angle quantum, so I guess the wide angle quantum is what it will be. Console wise, a bit over tanked, but oh well. Start the parser up. As soon as the parser starts. Yeah, MB, let's do a tank run. Tank ISA. Bridger, you want in on this? And Ranger, you're right. I could slot a plus threat embassy, but I only have the old plasma doping ones. Oh boy. This is gonna be a very fast run. Okay. It's not going to be a good run, most likely, to see the exact numbers on the pets. I think we're going to be over saturating the run DPS wise. Yeah, everyone's ready. Pop. Yeah. I'm accepting. Yeah, I'm going to be very curious to see that and how many stacks of SAD they actually apply. Because with these pets, I keep looking at the wrong thing. It's hard to say if. Well, I guess it visually appears as a bunch of smaller fighters, but technically to the server, it's only like 6 fighters per bay. Or 2, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. It's a bit laggy. Yeah, we're not gonna see anything with this. These servers are just complete trash. I'm moving completely forward and not moving. I don't think I can even hit my threatening stance. That's crazy. That is crazy. I can't test anything. I can't tell you how good the beams are doing or anything when there's so much lag that we're just stuck in place. I'm gonna go level this ship up over at Argala. Hello, Alan. I feel like if I take this ship into any other queue, it's probably going to perform quite poorly because there's just so much lag on the servers right now. And this just put me on the other side of the Delta Quadrant. So I'll just fly over there very slowly as I get stuck in a rock. I'm leveling the ship up at Argala real quick. Argala generally is a little bit faster up to wave 4. Yeah, if you want, Bridger, we can team up, do this. Alan, I know you want to see the ship, so... I don't remember, is teaming up for Argala still a bit buggy? The last time I tried it, it messed up a little. Let's knock this difficulty down because this game punishes you for playing on a harder difficulty, so... Let's see. My thoughts? I can't tell you any thoughts so far because this is the only run I've done lagged out so hard that there's nothing good to say about it. I mean, look at this lag in a solo instance. What is that? You see, there's a bunch of little fighters, but technically to the game, they're only one fighter. Okay, I guess I'll knock it up to advanced because... yeah. Yeah, Bridger, if I still played my KDF a ton, I would have said probably the D7, but... just... after that initial D7 that I got way back, being nerfed, that made that ship less valuable at the time. It hurt. I forgot to change the difficulty to advanced, so that's fine. I'll just breeze through this again on normal then. Hopefully remember. Leo, they cost about 1.5 billion. Like, they were 1.475 last I saw. go, Shadow. Overtime. Like, there's straight up no need for me to even bother, like, hitting Alpha right now on normal difficulty because they just all die so fast. That's normal difficulty for you. Whenever you level up a ship also, like, level up the mastery, I notice there's always a burst of lag when you do that. I don't know what you're talking about, Shadow. Just ping me on Discord. Yeah, just a little suspicious there. I mean, just a little, but I haven't looked at the full profile, so. It's level 4. these pets cause a lot of lag. Yeah, thank you, Bridger. It's hard to tell if there's more ships or if it's just real laggy. Brit Surfer, if you like lag, these ships are your friend. Seems to be the results so far. Oh no, it's set to elite, that's why it seemed like a little bit more. That's fine. I mean, look at the lag in a solo instance. The ISA I did a little bit ago was completely unplayable. Let me get out of here and then Bridger, you and I go in with the and just two-man it and see how much lag we can cause. That's like what I'll say, like review of the ship. I've said this a few times, but the ship is not a DPS ship. Do not get it hoping for a DPS platform. It's not. It's a tank platform. It's literally all this ship is good for is a tank platform. Which most people don't do, but a lot of people like to just have something that they can fall on and just fall and survive pretty well. Let's see, Alan. Um, the beams on them are good. The beams from these ships are the best beams you can get in the game, without a doubt. But the ship comes with 6, and that's all you really need. I bought a 7th, and it's not needed because the buffs stop stacking after 7 or after 6. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, what you have right now and what most people have, works. It's just these will have a little bit higher DPS numbers. That's basically it. Okay, I'm gonna leave the team. And uh, Bridger donated this to me to show show it off on stream and just to mess around with it. Just show what it's capable of. Should just give people some more ideas about what the pros and cons of the ship. Will there be a video review of the ship also? Like, yes, most likely. I'll get my I mean, I've still got my video editing software on the computer. I'll stop being lazy and get a video done probably some point over the weekend. Yeah, Bridger's a nice guy. It's just honestly the reason I haven't been doing STO videos. I've had plenty of ideas for STO videos. It's just that I've been so frustrated and burnt out with the game that there's been a lack of motivation. The ruin of our enemies. I actually have a screenshot of it. Let me get that screenshot here. Who did I send that to? Okay, I'm just gonna post them in Discord and then just take the link that gives me and post that in chat here. That's the stats on the trait. Supposedly it stacks up quite a bit, but it requires that you actually get the kill. You have to be the one to get the kill shot on the target, so it's really a good trait for solo play, but the ruin of our enemies, the trade-off of the D7, is likely not going to be a top 5 trait for most DPS players because you can't. It doesn't count kills against fighters or torps. It only counts, against normal ships and above. From what I have heard from others that have been testing the trait so far, you have to get the kill. It does not work like the Kentari. So if you do not get the kill, you don't get the buff. I think Ranger was the one talking about that on the Reddit Discord, so if he's still around, he can confirm or deny that. Okay. So we have 5 players. I'm going to, let's see, open this Endeavor box and see that I get nothing. Another nothing. Okay. $73 XP away from getting the Starship trait, but the Starship trait, the Plot Armor trait, it's not going to be that useful, I would say. It's going to be Lagfest. I'm going to slot my other Con here. I don't need the emergency con hologram in this queue. I think they want more people to use beams, but I also think they want to give an additional incentive to purchase this, this ship. Yeah. Most people already run beams, definitely. And even though beams are the worst performing weapon type in the game at this time, people still run them because that's the visual that you saw in the shows most of the time. I was hoping the HP would go a bit higher than that. I don't have TAC team on, so this is going to be a bit rough for me. I could drop my chemo, but it's fine. Oh, and I'm running Con, so Delta.
That formless flame.
Yeah, it was fun doing a bunch of stuff with throwing around. Blow hate. Yeah, I have it. I've never used it. Didn't mean to hit that. I just realized I never set my pets to actually attack. Let's take a closer look at that parse when it loads. When you get display capture on, make sure it's going to the right screen. Hello, hate line. So Florian and I split the threat. We had 2 tanks in there, and yeah, Florian got more attacks in. Yeah, I'm very burnt out. Pets did 30k in that slideshow. Let's take a look. So 29k from them. That's pretty decent actually for pets for 2 bays. That's a solid amount, about 14, 15k a bay. I'm not the one hosting this. Florian's hosting it. But I guess one other thing to consider is that for scramble fight or for the hanger pets, I did have scramble fighters on, which buffs their damage up quite a bit. And then I also have sad, which yeah. You can stay in that, Bridger. Florian was just swapping characters. Yeah, that is. No problem. Glad to hear that people have been actually doing that and taking advantage of the contraband method. That there's still so much potential in that contraband method to generate EC. It's crazy. You can get your EC from that, your Zen, your lithium. You get whatever you need, and people just don't take advantage of it. It's like there was a guy on the subreddit the other day in the Connie announcement thread who was complaining about how all these players they're keeping these like money making methods secret. And it's like it's out there. It's just a lot of people are too lazy to actually go out and do them. Let's see. I'm gonna put one more survivability console on for this, being I am main tank now. Yeah, it's not fun to log into all those characters daily, but with keybinds it's much easier. And with the 50 characters, like I showed, doing it in under 20 minutes. It's just, do you want to spend 20 minutes of your day every day to get like $2 to $3 worth of virtual currency in a game? It's That's the question. Do you want to spend the time to do that, or would you rather just put the money in? It's a good thing to do though if you have multiple monitors. Just watch something on one screen and mindlessly click through and do it on the other. Yeah. Okay. Just waiting for everyone to be ready. I'm gonna queue it up. Yeah, that's exactly the same position I'm in. Mighty Master, I only ever do contraband when I need the dilithium quick for something.
Your efforts are futile. Destroy this specimen, and I will claim another. I need my weapons to fire for my Kabali console to actually work. This is rough. I don't have the resources to get the D7, and I don't have a KDF character that is set up for any like high level stuff anymore. My KDF is out of date, very heavily out of date. The issue at the start there is my weapons were not firing all the time, and if your weapons aren't firing, you can't hit every target, can't pull thread off everything. It's a bit rough.
I'll drop scramble fighters for history. We'll remember just to see if that helps a little bit there. I also died, but that was from just lag weapons not firing for the Kabali console. Just waiting for everyone to be ready for this. Okay, I think Florian's ready.
You will find clarity. You will have strength of purpose. You will.
It was a little bit of a better run, 112k. Let's get that up on the parser. Total attacks in 83%. The beams did a bit more there. The pets did a little bit less. And the pets only did 22k there. What did I do healing wise? A lot from the clicky consoles. The Connie attack consoles only gave me 1.7k healing per second, energy frequencer 1.3k. The reiterative, I can never say the name of this. This console, you got this from the Kobayashi Maru event a while back. 6.7k healing per second. It's the most powerful healing console in the game if you're a tank. Heals you so much when you're being shot at. Like, I hit that at the start alongside my RSP and just I can take a mad amount of damage. I've got time to do another HSE, but I'm gonna have to head out here in about 20 or so minutes, so I'm gonna wrap things up after this. MB, I don't have sticks. Hello, Alan. It's hard to tell anything because everything is just so laggy. I mean, it's the same thoughts as before, really, though. Nothing is. I haven't changed or had any different thoughts about the ship. It's a tanking platform. The beams are really nice. The beams would give you more damage. is a little bit more beam performance worth 1.5 billion ECDU? Great, I can't hit my consoles for my abilities. Yeah, without a doubt, you would see a DPS improvement with these beam arrays. I'm gonna die here. My stuff didn't go off in the right order. And look, like, that just activated 3 times. Okay, so that was a rough start for me. I couldn't hit my RSP there and it threw off the entire, like, order. I just messed up there, basically, is what happened. With tanking an HSE run, you just have to make sure to time your heals in the right order, and because I don't have a tac team on, because I didn't hit the RSP soon enough, it didn't go, or didn't activate, and I couldn't activate because of the boarding parties, so it was very rough. It's interesting though, like this is larger than the original Connie, and look at how small it is compared to like even just like a newer escort. It's crazy. Will do. And once again, Bridger, thank you for the ship. It's very fun to mess around with, and these beams are really, really powerful. And I guess final remarks. Ship is not a DPS ship, it's a tank ship. Do not buy it for DPS. You will be disappointed for the ship directly. But the ship does unlock beam arrays that are much better than any other beam array you can get. They have a stacking damage buff. The more of them you have slotted, up to 6, the larger the buff that you get from the proc, up to 60% Cat 2. 60% Cat 2 is more than you get from Attack Pattern Alpha. So this trait on these weapons, these advanced phasers, is very good. And if you're a beam user wanting more performance, there's nothing competing with them. They beat the Spiral Wave Disruptor beam arrays. If you could slot 8 of them, you could potentially be in a situation where you'd want to have 8 of them slotted instead of a Terran, but because the buff only goes up to 6, you don't have to worry about that. You can have your Terran slotted alongside them, along with the Torpedo or the Prolonged Phaser, whatever you want, basically. Yeah, the price tag is the issue. You're looking at 1.5 billion EC or $300 basically to get the ship, so is that worth it to you? If you're looking to just squeeze more performance out of your ship, I think there's better things you could do with your money, like getting good and using cannons. That'd be the best thing you could do instead of buying these beams at this cost. They are good, but they're insanely expensive. That wraps up today's stream. Thank you everyone for watching. I might be able to stream again tomorrow or Saturday. We'll see, but if not, I'll see you next week. Thanks all for tuning in.